Hello, everybody! Welcome back to a brand new episode of the G's and Johnny Show. We apologize for it being such a long wait. I know you guys are very invested in our comedy. And this is my co-host, G's.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
And he's going to tell us the joke of the day,
Joke
right?
of the day. This was written quite a while ago.
Okay.
It's, if I starred in the Aladdin movie, the song would go like this. You ain't never had a friend. It's a little self-deprecation.
Anyways.
Joke. So why have we been taking so long to upload? We were so consistent.
Well, there are some things that I don't want them to go public, but you know how the media is.
I think you should just embrace it.
I might as well tell you guys firsthand so that you don't have to keep guessing about the rumors that have been going on.
Because I'm sure there's been a lot of rumors.
Yeah.
We're such big stars.
I saw myself on BuzzFeed the other day. It was
What?
awful. Yeah.
What'd they say about you?
They said that I killed a bunch of fortune tellers.
Really?
Yeah. It was terrible.
That is the court case, though. That really took up a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
So I guess they're...
Yeah. But I don't even know where they would have gotten evidence for that. Definitely not the podcast.
Well, that's why we took up so much time, was there was a court case involving...
Yeah.
Somebody thought you were the fortune teller killer.
Speaking of the court case, I have my fancy new lawyer here.
We have a guest today.
Hello.
Why don't you introduce him?
Did you forget his name or something?
What? Why don't you introduce him?
This is Mr. Dutch, my lawyer. He's been fantastic. He got me out scot-free?
Scot-free.
Scot-free. So
Not a single Scot was spent.
Yeah.
In getting
Why do they say that?
him.
It goes back. It's very interesting history. Back in Dred Scott.
My goodness, I never made the connection.
Yeah, scot-free. See,
That
you're free of Dred Scott. Yep.
That is incredible.
Well, that's grand.
Unfortunately, none of us are black. So
Giving it away.
My bad.
At any rate, I am finally back from this 3 months?
3 months.
3 months of torture, in and out of court cases.
It started a long time ago with the whole the case building up and whatnot.
It just so happened that a ton of fortune tellers were killed as I was making those jokes, and it kind of made us look bad.
It looked real.
It hurt our reputation a little bit.
I almost had to hire you myself as well, but luckily. So why don't you run down some of your techniques that
Well,
you got?
it really does make it difficult when someone's pinned for murder and has made a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
On those murdered.
They kept calling it, like he admitted it.
Oh.
But
yeah.
They kept saying that.
Kind of hard to dig yourself out of the hole there, but I find going into court, positive attitude never hurts. Yeah,
positive. You were very positive throughout the whole thing.
I try to be. Yeah.
You went non-guilty, right? You claimed non-guilty.
Yeah, that is usually what you try to do.
Right.
When you're not
guilty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just right.
You don't want to go in there like, yeah, I did it,
and then at the end go, psych, I didn't actually do it. That
pulls off sometimes. Sometimes.
Really, that'd be good if they were like, if you go in saying
reverse psychology.
Yeah, if you go in saying I'm guilty and they find no evidence and they're like, I'm pretty sure you're innocent. And you're like, maybe you're right. And then
or you
defer to the jury.
Yeah,
you just say you're guilty, and then they're like, okay, and then they put you in jail.
Maybe.
That's just a confession. The last thing you want to hear in a court of law is one of your jokes quoted against you.
Yeah.
Just
did it get a laugh? Did it at least get... None of them?
It kind of...
Yeah,
it was
died.
Bad.
With all the families of the fortune tellers and whatnot.
Yeah, they were there. It was not.
They probably saw the punchline coming anyway.
Yeah.
That
joke is never gonna get old.
So when let me ask you that. Let me ask you this. A couple times, okay, this is how the news spread it. John broke about 3 or 4 times. That's how they said it. Obviously, you admitted in the court case you started yelling profanity and whatnot, like, I killed them. Those gypsies.
Yeah, they can suck my crystal balls.
You're right, exactly. I believe that's a direct quote.
That was a bad one.
It was bad, but...
Yeah.
So, now, of course, that was you just a little gaffe, a little goof.
Yeah, just to ease up the audience a little bit.
Yeah, they were a little tense.
Yeah.
but it didn't play well. Not gonna lie, it didn't play well.
John, I'm gonna be honest with you. You did not make my job easy.
Right.
Well, it wasn't my best stand-up.
No, your first open mic night was under the gavel.
Yeah.
And didn't play well.
Judge was a good sport. Let it go on for far too long.
Yeah, I mean, I believe I saw a couple tears rolling down your eyes as well during it.
They were
deep cuts you were throwing out. And of course, I was just laughing. I was laughing in the back.
It was really good to have you there.
Thanks.
Support.
I tried,
Jeez.
but what are you gonna do? So, how do you recommend getting out of something like that? Because you span it around real quick, and actually, I think that's what won the court case.
It reminded me a lot of the OJ case.
Right.
The OJ of your time.
Yeah.
It's a good compliment. Well, for anyone who finds himself in a similar situation,
as to OJ.
And you.
And John.
Mm-hmm.
First recommendation is don't make any more jokes.
Right.
About the dead people.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
maybe
kind of makes it unserious. Second would be hire me, Mr. Dutch. I'll get out, and if I don't, then you'll still have legal fees. But
right, you are in crippling debt now.
Yeah. Well, I was before, but a
but
podcast doesn't pay very well.
You cover bankruptcy too.
I do. Yeah.
So
if you need a bankruptcy lawyer, yeah.
There you
go. Deeper
go.
down the hole.
So he's also our sponsor tonight, Dutch.
Yes,
It was part of the agreement, part of his payment, to keep John here floating just above the water, and you cut down the price just to exactly. You cut down the price if we put you on our 43 viewing community.
It's good to get advertisements out there.
Right.
Yep.
Because
especially for the desperate.
Yeah, I'm sure that our fan base is criminals.
They're pretty into killing fortune tellers.
Yeah, they're criminals, and that's another interesting point that brought up a mob mentality. It seemed like they criticized you on daring people to one up your presumed killings.
Yeah,
I was a very strong influence.
But lucky enough, those court cases sort of overshadowed yours, and it ultimately was...
It was really a fine strategy.
Yeah,
really focus in on those.
And you got off just kind of while everyone in the ruckus. You just...
Judge, see here. I didn't do it. I just told people to do it. So I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Because I was joking.
Can't be held responsible.
The whole time.
It was a joke.
Satire.
It was a prank.
Yeah. It's just a prank, bro. Okay, you're innocent. Goodbye.
That was another. Maybe we'll have the judge on one of these days. Although I believe he was fired. Wasn't he taken? His gavel was taken. Yeah, right.
He was.
The wig was taken off his head and
stripped him of his gown.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
A public display of terror, really, among the several people.
The several.
Well,
in attendance.
So that covers it, I think. Any other highlights from your end of the table? From the back
my
end?
side of the bar.
Right. I'm sorry, the bar. I did see you there a couple times, drinking your sorrows away during the court.
You know what, geez, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people died.
Yeah, a lot of people did die.
At times I was unsure what I should have done. But we won. And that was good.
How's the moral weight on your end?
Oh.
Crippling?
Crushing. Yep.
How about you, John?
I feel the same.
Really?
I'm going to live my life same way I have been.
Recording
podcasts and not killing fortune. Yeah,
not killing fortune. So we're going to stop with the fortune teller joke.
No way.
We're probably going to have to change our banner because it is a giant fortune teller on our YouTube page.
Yeah, that was...
Is it?
Yes.
That was one of the victims.
But she is alive.
No.
In the picture.
Yeah.
In the picture, she is alive.
It would be terrible for you to use a dead photo.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Photo of a dead
woman. I should say her eyes are open.
I legally advise against it.
Okay.
Here's this fortune teller hung from someone's ceiling. And
using some camera.
Definitely not my phone camera.
No.
Because that would be incriminating.
Very incriminating.
Yeah.
During the court case, you also grew a beard to
did.
show that time had passed.
Yeah.
This is not a lie. This is not a lie. But also your lawyer has quite the beard. Were you inspired?
Yes. I was like, one day I'm going to be this man scavenging money off those that have fallen on bad fortune.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
bad fortune.
What better way to show that than a nice beard?
Yeah.
I find it really helps with the jury. They're really sympathetic to
a little masculine flavor. Yeah.
It's like a father that they never had.
Right, exactly. The only president that ever had a beard in office was Abraham Lincoln.
Wow,
he was pretty cool.
He did free the slaves, sorta, kinda, a little bit.
He did.
He said a thing that was inspirational. That's true.
Gettysburg Address. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Which ultimately got off scot-free. The entire...
Yeah, did Dred Scott.
Yeah, it did. Little callback there. I'm still without facial hair.
Oh.
Because I was not involved. And what were you going to say?
Well, I'm here. Do your fans have any...
Well, it's funny you say that.
Legal questions.
There's a lot of legal advice, like I was saying. There's a lot of criminals and ne'er-do-wells in our community.
Reprobates.
Yeah. That need...
How did they find out about how we were going to have him on the lawyer?
I'm sure you sent out a newsletter.
I threw it up.
Exclusive...
Yeah, I threw it up on their exclusive email.
It was on BuzzFeed as well. Yeah. So.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Did we partner with BuzzFeed?
No.
Oh, okay.
They just have like 1,000 rumors.
I got you.
Like 2 of them might be true.
Because anytime you two are together now, the paparazzi are just bound to show up.
Yeah.
So they're going to court again.
Yeah.
5 more gypsies dead.
Are there more?
Nope.
The court case is over, so we're
that we know of.
Right. You got your trunk cleaned and everything after the court case, right?
There's some
little
bottle cans in there.
Yeah, bottle cans.
Yeah.
Bottle cans?
Yep. Bottle cans.
Here's our first. We're gonna leave all the names anonymous as to not incriminate them, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Very good legal advice.
At the end, just give me anything you think, any advice you might have. So, hello, he says, or she. I live in Arkansas, where there's an old state law, very out of date,
where you can't kill fortune tellers.
That as well, which is weird because
can't believe that they haven't overturned that one.
Yeah. Well, you were in Arkansas a couple times.
I don't. You can't say that.
Okay. We'll cut this part out too.
We might not be uploading for another 3 months.
So the guy, you want to be on again? Can you be on again after the second?
For money.
Okay. So the guy's in Arkansas, and there's a law there that hasn't been overturned yet that you have to correctly pronounce the state's name, Arkansas. This is a real thing. It's a real thing. Anyway, I'm
glad he reiterated.
You can see it right here. He says it's a real thing. Anyway, I was at a Halloween party dressed as a pirate when someone started complaining about how I opened my tin of beans. So I responded, "R, quit it, R," with that Arkansas. And now I'm bound for a good old-fashioned chain gang if I don't get out of this. So what is my best chance of getting out? Because I think what he's going for is someone heard him say R in pirate form, say Kansas.
Yeah.
Well, I think in this situation, the best thing you're going to want to do is create a little diorama or a skit.
A
that you take to court. You need to find your pirate suit. The original can of beans is very important, as they will take DNA.
Of course.
Yeah. And then you want to just run back the exact scenario, and our Kansas.
And then you'll be in jail twice as long because you did it twice.
You did say it again. How are you going to dodge that?
Well, see, what you do is you will then have your lawyer, which could be me, could be someone else, should be me. I'll call for the judge to repeat what the transcriber has written, and then we'll get him.
I see.
We'll get him on the charge. The case will be dropped for incompetence, and you're
scot-free. That is a wonderful... Excellent.
Yeah.
I see why you passed the bar.
Yeah.
Any notes on your end? Does that remind you of any tricks used?
Yeah, they would always just try to get you to say something like, I killed the fortune tellers, or something like that, something along those lines. But sure they could never get me to say that because I'm not dumb.
Right. Played close to the chest with that one. Up next, this guy says, "I'm in a bit of a pickle. And by that I mean I live in Connecticut. where there's a state law, this is real, that all pickles must bounce if dropped from a height of 1 foot or higher to prevent old pickles being sold and poisoning people. He says, now I'm not going to lie, I've been selling poison pickles on the down low that certainly aren't fit for human consumption for the last 15 years.
It's a long time.
But I'll be a cucumber if they don't bounce. They bounce. Now, an officer noticed that I have just jarred a baker's dozen of bread and butter big ones when he stopped and asked me to see them. So I handed him the jar of pickles, and he dropped the whole jar right on my foot to see if they would bounce. Now, the glass and all 5 of my piggies, I assume they mean his toes, impeded the bounceability of the pickles. He had neither reasonable suspicion, nor did he properly drop the pickles according to the law. So I'm asking you, should I relish my time in the outside while I still can? Or do I have a case?
Oh, you most certainly have a case.
Most certainly.
It was gross incompetence on the officer's part. Simply bring a jar of your bread and butter big ones to the court.
Yeah.
Have them bounce before a judge, and you'll be all set.
Really, it's that simple.
Yeah, I'm a very... you'll find this theme. I'm a very hands-on attorney.
It's a lot of skits.
Yeah, a lot of skits.
A lot of show and tell.
Yeah, I feel that the judge and the jury like that. People like things really walked through with them.
None of that.
Because they're stupid.
Exactly right. None of that. None of that high, legal talk. They don't get that.
Want words,
especially not in Connecticut. Let's be honest here.
Nothing. Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that he did during my case.
Yeah.
We walked him through how I would have killed a fortune teller if I had, which was totally different from the way they had died.
Yeah. I see. How would have you killed them?
Well, I would not have killed them. First of all,
got him.
Yeah,
you got me good.
You sly bastard.
My bad.
Iron defense.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. The court, the judge, he slipped me a tenner,
just to
and
trick
said,
me.
"Hey, we need you to do
my
this."
own
another reason he was fired.
Yeah, another reason. Reverse bribery of a judge.
He really didn't like John.
No. Thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Next one, if that's all right. So, hello. Oh, he does present his name. He says we can say his first name.
Ooh.
He says, my name is Bill.
Wow.
I'm original.
Hi, Bill.
Thank you for writing in, Bill.
Yeah. He says, I'm originally from Canada,
Hey.
but now I live and am a citizen of the great state of Hawaii.
It's a big change, Bill.
Yeah, it's a big change, he says. I know. Wow. You might be a fortune teller. Stay in your seat.
Calm down there, John.
So he says, unfortunately, I wasn't aware of the strange laws in Hawaii.
There's a lot of strange ones.
One of them being that there are no billboards allowed. Billboards are outlawed.
It impedes the pineapple growth.
Yeah, it really does. It's famous. So anyway, I was at the DMV, and those places are a real not fun.
Yeah,
those guys.
Real not fun.
He might not be a smart man.
Yeah. His name is Bill.
Most certainly not.
He says, you got to wait in line, and you got to sit there. It's kind of boring, So yeah. So me, Bill, was quite bored in Hawaii, and while I couldn't find anything to do, I constructed an entire billboard. So I was arrested. My billboard was taken, but luckily I have something to do now instead of being at the DMV. My license plate was not renewed, and now I have to deal with this whole situation. So what do you say about that? Does he have a case?
I think you do not have a case.
No, it's a little strange.
Bill was bored. Billboard. And the billboard was made while Bill was bored.
Yeah. And he clearly says here he built a billboard.
Yeah. There's probably, Bill, if you're listening to this, there's one case in Hawaii where someone built a billboard in a DMV, and it's not going to take the judge too much time to realize that you made this letter and incriminate it yourself.
Yeah.
Other ones, vague. There's a lot of pickles in Connecticut. There's only
a whole lot of can of beans.
A lot of can of beans.
What? I got lost.
Basically, Bill was
only
bored
one
and built a
Canadian.
billboard in Hawaii.
Yes.
I see.
Wow.
Sorry, there's a. Are those some of your clients?
Yeah, I have a meeting after this. I'll ask them
I
if we
see.
can
My
be
bad.
quiet.
No,
Yeah, it's all right.
It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I think we're winding down anyway. You're a busy fella. There's two more. Is two more all right?
Yeah.
There's 2 more dead?
No.
Oh.
No, there's no more dead.
I mean,
as far as we know.
Yeah.
There's 2 more people sent stuff in.
well, good. That'd be
He
great.
says I'm sticking with the theme of states. He says, I guess he knew about, probably BuzzFeed leaked it.
Yeah.
He says, so in Mississippi, there's a law against limiting the size of big gulps. You know, like a 7-Eleven
Yeah.
big gulps. I guess that's a law that you can't limit the size of it. Now, he
Less
says,
than 44 ounces.
yeah, my brother, he's a hefty fellow, he says. And he just getting bigger gulps. He's a addict, and he's also like a constructor of the cups. So he kept making them bigger and bigger. He's living with us now because of his crippling obesity. But the house just kept getting cluttered with all these big gulps that kept getting bigger. Heck, the biggest one now is we're living in it. It's overcome the house. It's too big to fit, and now I can't park my car in my driveway. So I said, you know what, I'm going to have to kick my brother out. Now he's suing me because I limited the size of his big gulps. He's claiming, but I didn't. I just kicked him out because I couldn't support the grandness of his gulp.
His weight.
Yeah, his weight. Unlike the wait at the DMV that the other guy had to sit through. So what do you think? Does this guy have a case?
Your brother's got a strong case.
Yeah.
That you were impeding. See, this if I'm quite familiar with the law.
Oh,
It's
are
not,
you from?
Not only is it.
Are you from Mississippi?
No.
Oh, my
Thank
bad.
Christ. Not only can you not shrink or diminish the size of a big gulp, but you cannot impede the growth of such. So a infraction on your brother's big gulp rights that he's entitled to under Mississippi law, and kicking him out for that purpose would definitely not put you in the legal right.
So you would not take this case.
I would not take this case. It's a loss.
It's a loss.
It's a
He
loss.
should take his. He should.
Obesity wins again.
What do you think he should? Oh, sorry. What were you
How many
saying?
years in prison is that? Impeding the
Life.
I
Wow.
think it is life.
Life.
What would you recommend if it is a lost case? What would you recommend? Pleading guilty.
Settling
out of court?
Yeah, settling out of court. That's an option. Invite your brother to live back with you. He might drop the lawsuit.
Right.
I would advise maybe living in or maybe like a shack on your property outside of the home. I think it will be your brother's now. Your home.
Right. He's kind of taken over.
He is. Yep.
Or
and once that breaks, he'll be exposed to the elements and
die,
and then you'll be free to inhabit the shambles of your broken home.
Right.
I think you should make a bigger gulp, okay?
Whoa.
And trap him inside of it. All right.
He does seem like a big fellow. Are you sure a gulp this size would be feasible?
There's definitely the physics of it that would have to be worked out, but
We don't want a black hole on our hands or anything.
But I believe that if you could get him either trapped in a very large gulp, or somehow get him to break this large gulp that you have trapped him in, you could turn around on him.
He's impeding you now.
Yeah, because you were just trying to make the biggest gulp.
Oh, John, you've learned so much. You've come very far.
My goodness. Are you thinking about becoming a lawyer?
Nope. No, I'm okay. If a case ever came up again about fortune tellers, which is highly probable, I see one in the near future. I don't think I could. I would have to not make jokes, and I don't know if I could do that.
Is there a lot of jokes in the court usually in the court? No.
Almost none. Yeah.
Almost none.
Almost none.
I actually
Did you ever
broke the
try a
record.
couple? You broke the record.
Yeah,
Wow.
for
Oh, in
most
my early
jokes.
practice, yes.
Most jokes.
I tried a couple. They landed as well as you did. It was there was a case carjacking.
Carjacking.
Yeah, and then hit and run.
Mm.
And it was someone moving in furniture into their home. They just moved. And they were trying to plug in their refrigerator outside. It wasn't running, but they should have run.
I see.
Anyway,
They didn't laugh at that one, did they?
Nope.
No.
They were pretty quiet.
I know there's there's this pretty famous one that a lawyer made. Somebody left their car windows open with their baby in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently judges don't like dead baby jokes. So
No.
yeah,
That's tough.
they kind of put them under.
Yeah, really. Well, we have one last one. This one doesn't have to do with the state. I guess he didn't realize the theme.
Didn't
but
follow the trend.
No, it didn't. Probably doesn't follow BuzzFeed.
What an idiot.
He says, I'm a
Definitely guilty.
very unlucky man. I'm in a very bad circumstance. I was driving down the freeway with my AirBuds. Oh, he had AirBuds.
Oh.
AirPods?
AirPods.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, not AirPods, the off-brand AirBuds.
The Samsung brand.
Yes.
AirPods.
Yes. I didn't realize that I was being chased by the entire brigade of police. And I just so happened to have $8,000, a loaded gun, and a fake mustache in my trunk. They were part of an art project I was doing. So I finally pull over, and apparently my wife and some other guy were brutally murdered, and apparently I was the leading suspect. So I'm in a bit of a trouble now. How do I get out of this case? I'm pretty good at football, if that helps.
It doesn't. But it's good to keep in mind.
What's up? Going full circle with the...
Yes. Yep. Yes. What were you going to say?
Well, what I think you're going to want to do is you have the fake mustache.
He does have the fake mustache.
Save it until your court day. Go into court and tell them you've got the wrong man. You've got my twin.
Oh.
Tell your lawyer beforehand so he's not shocked. Or don't, so he is shocked. Throw everybody off balance. That's what you're going to want to do in this situation. Make sure they don't think it was you, but rather your brother. Take the money that you have in your car and flee to Canada. Or to Hawaii.
Or both.
Or both.
And what do you do with the loaded gun?
Keep it.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Used in every part of the buffalo.
Those Mounties can be persistent.
Yeah. Well, that's incredible. It really is. We've had a lot of advice. I feel like I'm more educated now.
Did he really have a fake mustache on?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Why? How was that going to help him at all?
I don't know what to tell you.
He's O.J. Simpson. You're going to be noticed.
This is a different guy.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. You could...
He says his name is...
Apple Juice Simpson.
If there's you want to run your business by them one more time?
Yeah, it's the Dutch and Associates is the firm. We are on 2468 Maple Street, Missouri.
That's a bit of an odd address.
It is.
I'm sure the people at home understood what I was saying.
Okay, because I didn't.
Okay, so we'll see you in another 3 months.
I think those clients you had were dogs. Could there be police dogs here?
No. Oh, John's gone.